Going.
Hi there.
Okay, can you give me your full name for the little documentary here?
Hi there. I'm Sunny Fawcett. F like in fun.
Nah.
AWCETT.
Cool.
And
How old are you?
okay, 19 forever.
19 forever.
Actually, I'm a senior. Senior of excellence. And shall I just go into my story here?
Well, first things first. You mentioned to me that you're homeless.
Yes, I am.
How long have you been homeless for?
Okay. Well, 8 years now. Not necessarily by choice. I've had family members that have passed away, and homes that foreclosed, and a lot of savings used up when it came to funerals, etc. I wanted to emphasize that you can read about my story actually in the Monterey County Weekly paper, and the issue is June 13th, 2013, and it's titled "Traffic Stop Becomes Criminal Case for Homeless Woman," and it'll pretty much fill you in on the details.
And that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about right now, right? And so,
right.
Tell me a little bit about what happened and how you got into this situation.
Yes. As of September 19th, I was coming down Fairgrounds Road, and I noticed there was a patrol car that was behind the Motel 6, if people are familiar with that area. And I noticed the patrol car sitting without headlights on, and I'm the main car coming down the road.
Right.
And I got tailed right after that. You know, I can see him right behind me.
Right.
I came to Garden Road, turned left. That's the road going to the airport for those that don't know. And this was after midnight, so it's dark and secluded, winding. And as I turned down that road, he was also right behind me.
Right.
I know I was driving at a safe speed. In fact, I wanted to take this time to also link up that we are also on YouTube, so you can see the
right. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Just talk more about your story. So you basically got pulled over by a police officer at what time? 2 o'clock in the morning.
This was after midnight, close to 12:30.
Oh, okay.
For driving too slow.
For driving too slow.
And impeding traffic where there was no traffic.
Right. Okay. And then it goes further than that too, right? That's yes. Not the now, obviously they were not able to issue a citation for impeding traffic on a road with no traffic on it. And so what have they done now to kind of complicate your situation
right.
further?
Okay, so basically you're right. I was not ticketed. I was not arrested. I was let go. However, a month later, I got a notice in the mail saying that a criminal offense has been charged against me for delaying an officer for 26 minutes. Okay,
so you delayed the officer for 26 minutes, and now they've issued you an actual, and it's technically not a citation, this is an actual charge against you now, right?
Well, if you can call it that. These are not real laws. High laws, real laws, are voted on by the people, for the people. You don't arrest someone after the fact, and also first tell them that you're not going to arrest them and let them go, and then come back with whatever it is that they're doing.
Right.
And also, to bring you up to speed, there's a trial date set next Monday.
Right.
And
so Monday would be from today. Today's the 4th, and so at that 5, 6, that's the 9th, I believe, or is that the?
Or the 8th. Maybe?
Oh, is it the 8th? Okay.
Maybe.
So,
okay. At
yeah, you're right. The 8th.
8 in the morning, and I invite anyone that would like to come. It's going to be in Salinas, the Salinas Courthouse, at 240 Church Street, and it's Judge Maldonado, Courtroom 7.
Right.
We're supposed to be involved in a jury trial situation, and yet I am not aware of all the facts and situations that they're wanting to talk about. However, I did find out some very disturbing information I think most of the public should be aware of, that unfortunately the district attorney has basically filed charges against me in their trial memorandum, which even specifies a lot of illegal situations, particularly trying to steer the jury into doing things that, let's see, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the, it says right here, the defense should be barred from offering forms of argument or evidence designed to elicit jury nullification. That is so not right. That is so wrong. That is in such violation.
And so basically, what they've done is they've found a way to try to harass you at night by saying that you were going too slow,
which is not the case.
Which you were just being careful. I saw another thing in your Coast Weekly article where they had mentioned that you had only cracked your window down a couple inches, which actually isn't against the law. There's no law stating that you're obligated to roll your entire window. In fact, it's oftentimes
a protective safety.
It's oftentimes suggested by lawyers and people, in law enforcement, that the worst thing you could do is open your windows all the way as to not incriminate yourself in case you were maybe up to no good, which in this case they found that you weren't intoxicated in any way, right?
No, absolutely not.
So, which they would have arrested you for that. So essentially they had nothing. And now you're saying you're going to have to go to court, and there's going to be a whole trial regarding this. And during that trial, they're basically saying that you can't have, say more about that, like the witness thing, like how they're basically saying that witnesses, they're trying to bar them from giving testimony that would actually help you show that you're innocent in this situation.
Yes, exactly. I really want people to be aware of, and I wanted to give the number out right now. This is called, it's FIJA, F-I-J-A, which stands for Fully Informed Jury. I don't know if you can see that. And there's an 800 number.
Right.
And there's a lot of information on this. And I
don't know how well it's going to come out there, but I think I got a little bit of it on there.
And speaking of...
careful. We're filming in tight quarters in the wind right now. So
speaking of Happy 4th of July and Independence, I especially wanted to note that this is really amazing that a lot of people are not aware of. The jurors have authority. In other words, the government, even though there's government that teaches other things, the main thing is that a jury has more authority than Congress, the President, or even the Supreme Court. Something really, really important to keep in mind. And also, judges will say the law is for them to decide, but that is not true. Got to be very clear on this. When you are a juror, you have the right to decide both law and fact. American jurors have proud tradition of saying no and not guilty, especially when bad and corrupt laws, such as these, which I'm experiencing, are used against people. You can protect yourself and your friends and your family by refusing to enforce bad laws, because in our system of checks and balances, you, the juror, are the final judge of the law and justice. Really important to remember.
Now, what can people do, since we're running out of time here? What is something that people can do to try to help you along in this process, to kind of try to create some waves for them, make it to where the people who are trying to prosecute you for this erroneous charge get some pressure from regular people to kind of lay off and not try to push this on people? Because this is an implication. If they can just say anyone who asks questions or who is trying to exercise their constitutional rights, if they can actually be prosecuted for trying to defend their own rights by saying you delay an officer and it's a criminal charge, what can people do? Like, who can we write into or call? What would you suggest?
Okay, so as I was saying, FIJA is one, and also I would really appreciate people faxing actually directly to the DA's office.
Okay, and what's the fax number for the DA's office? Who is it? It's Dean Flippo?
And it's Dean Flippo, or Flippo. I'm trying to think of how they
We just call him
pronounce
Flippo.
it. Okay. And the fax number is 831
Okay.
755 5058. I'll say that one more time. 831 755 5058. Also, the city of Monterey, which is important because the police officers get paid by the city and they're involved directly. And I want to add that the peace officers that I know, that I work with the fire department, are gentlemen. They would never do these kinds of bully acts, and they're not real happy about what these other guys are doing.
Well, it sounds like this is something that's been initiated by Dean Flippo now, and not so much the law enforcement, officers as a whole.
Exactly.
And especially considering that you're homeless, and just to mention, I mean, you're probably the most clean-cut homeless person I've ever run across. You're definitely very mindful of your manners and very kind, very soft-spoken, and you're very knowledgeable, obviously, and intelligent on the situation. I do find it frustrating that they have time for this kind of stuff, to kind of take advantage of people who are already down, and knowing that they can't defend themselves. It's kind of the worst form of bullying imaginable. And so I definitely hope that people get involved with this. I'm going to definitely post some links in this video so that people can see her story that's in the Coast Weekly, as well as some of the other pertinent things. And hopefully people will get involved and try to tell people, or at least law enforcement officials and the district attorneys around here, that enough's enough.
Yes, and also there's a fax number for the city, 831 646 3793.
Okay.
So that we can do it. And I want to just say too, this is a day of freedom, and like our forefathers said,